Summer's officially here, and the bikini sale at shackshop.us is happening right now. Get hot styles, bold prints, and perfect fits, all on sale for a limited time. Whether you're beach-bound or poolside, we've got the bikini that makes you feel confident, cute, and totally summer-ready. So don't wait. Head to shackshop.us and shop the sale before it ends. That's shackshop.us, your new favorite bikini spot.
Ricky Gervais torches Grammy winners for using acceptance speeches to blast ICE. They're still not listening. Ricky Gervais has never needed a stage to steal one. While the 2026 Grammy Awards unfolded inside Los Angeles' Crypto.com arena, awash in sequins, standing ovations, and politically charged speeches, the British comedian reignited one of his longest-running cultural battles from a distance. No monologue, no microphone, just a repost. If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech. You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. The line, lifted from Gervais's infamous 2020 Golden Globes monologue, landed again with renewed force. This time, it wasn't aimed at Hollywood elites broadly, but at Grammy winners who used their acceptance speeches to denounce U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and criticize immigration policies from the stage. Gervais added a short, unmistakably dismissive caption. They're still not listening. 6 words. Cultural napalm. A familiar war reignited. The clash between Ricky Gervais and celebrity political activism is not new. In fact, it has become something of a ritual. Awards season arrives, stars make political statements, and Gervais, either directly or by proxy, reminds them that public reverence does not equal public authority. But the 2026 Grammys marked an escalation. This year's ceremony didn't just include political commentary, it was saturated with it. From red carpet fashion choices to acceptance speeches, immigration enforcement, and ICE specifically, became the evening's central theme. Pins reading ICE out were worn openly. Speeches referenced deportation, displacement, and protest. At least one explicit remark was censored live on air. For Gervais, this wasn't progress. It was proof of his point. The Grammys as a political stage. Award shows have always flirted with politics. Vietnam protests echoed through the Oscars in the 1970s. The Iraq War shaped speeches in the early 2000s. More recently, issues ranging from climate change to racial justice have dominated acceptance speeches. But the 2026 Grammys felt different in scope and coordination. Rather than isolated statements, the night unfolded as a near-continuous series of symbolic and verbal protests. Immigration enforcement was not a side issue. It was the connective tissue. ICE out becomes the unofficial dress code. By the time the red carpet filled, the message was unmistakable. Dozens of artists arrived wearing small but unmistakable pins reading ICE out. Some wore them openly for photographers. Others waited until later moments to display them more strategically. The choice of subtlety over spectacle appeared intentional, a reminder that even restrained gestures can carry political weight on a globally televised stage. Joni Mitchell's quiet statement. At 82 years old, Joni Mitchell did not need to say a word to command attention. When she walked the red carpet, there was no visible political messaging attached to her attire. But when Mitchell took the stage to accept the Grammy for Best Historical Album, Joni Mitchell Archives Volume 4, The Asylum Years, something had changed. Pinned to her sequined outfit was the now familiar ICE out emblem. The timing mattered. By waiting until the acceptance moment, Mitchell ensured the symbol would be broadcast worldwide, not merely photographed. The move was understated, deliberate, and instantly dissected online. For supporters, it was a dignified protest. For critics, it was proof that even legends weren't immune to what they saw as virtue signaling. Kehlani's emotional breakthrough. If Mitchell represented restraint, Kehlani embodied raw emotion. The 30-year-old singer entered the evening wearing an ICE out pin attached to a plunging black sequined halter dress. But it was her speech, delivered after winning Best R&B Performance and Best R&B Song for Folded, that left the strongest impression. Visibly shaken, Kehlani spoke about fear, displacement, and what she described as systemic harm caused by immigration enforcement policies. She urged artists and fans alike to continue speaking out, emphasizing that silence, in her view, equaled complicity. For Kehlani's, the Grammys weren't just recognition, they were responsibility. Bad Bunny and a historical moment. The emotional peak of the night came later. Bad Bunny, already one of the most influential artists in the world, made history by winning Album of the Year for Debut Darmas Photos. It marked the first time a Spanish-language album claimed the ceremony's top prize. As his name was announced, the Puerto Rican superstar sat motionless, head in his hands, visibly overwhelmed. When he finally spoke, much of his speech was delivered in Spanish. He dedicated the award to all the people who had to leave their homeland to follow their dreams. The arena rose to its feet. The moment resonated far beyond music. For many viewers, it symbolized migration not as policy debate, but as lived experience. For others, it reinforced concerns that the Grammys had crossed from artistic celebration into overt political advocacy. Billie Eilish pushes past the line. If there was a moment that crystallized the night's tension, it came with Billie Eilish. After winning Song of the Year for Wildflower, Eilish took the stage alongside her brother and collaborator Phineas O'Connell. Calm at first, her speech soon sharpened. "No one is illegal on stolen land," she declared, urging the audience to continue protesting and speaking out. Moments later, as she exited the stage, Eilish delivered an explicit condemnation of ICE, a remark that triggered immediate censorship by the broadcast network. The audio cut mid-sentence. Within minutes, clips, transcripts, and reactions flooded social media. Supporters praised her courage. Critics questioned why a family-oriented broadcast was placed in the position of damage control. A chorus of agreement. Eilish, Bad Bunny, Kehlani, and Mitchell were not outliers. Throughout the night, similar sentiments appeared, sometimes subtly, sometimes forcefully, from artists including Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, Jason Isbell, Justin Vernon, Rhiannon Giddens, Margot Price. The collective effect was unmistakable, a unified cultural statement from the music industry's elite. And that unity is precisely what Gervais's ire. Ricky Gervais's long memory. To understand Gervais's reaction, one must revisit 2020. His Golden Globes monologue that year was less comedy routine than cultural indictment. He mocked celebrities for lecturing audiences on morality while benefiting from systems they criticized. He accused Hollywood of hypocrisy, selective outrage, and detachment from ordinary life. That speech didn't just go viral, it became a reference point. By reposting it during the Grammys, Gervais wasn't debating immigration policy. He was questioning legitimacy. Who gets to lecture whom? And why should applause translate into authority? They're still not listening. The phrase cut both ways. On its face, Gervais suggested celebrities hadn't listened to him, but the deeper implication was broader, that audiences themselves have stopped listening too. Polling consistently shows that while many Americans support immigration reform, fewer trust celebrities as credible voices on complex policy matters. The disconnect between cultural influence and political persuasion remains stubborn. For Gervais, the Grammys weren't evidence of progress, they were proof of stagnation.
The legal and cultural gray zone. It's worth noting what wasn't said. No Grammy speaker accused specific ICE agents of crimes. No legal findings were asserted from the stage. Statements were framed as moral judgments, personal beliefs, and symbolic protest, not factual indictments. That distinction matters. Award shows are emotional platforms, not courts of law. But emotion, amplified by celebrity, can blur lines, and networks must navigate the aftermath carefully. The culture war lives on. The 2026 Grammys may be remembered less for trophies than for tension. To supporters, the night showcased artists using their visibility to speak for vulnerable communities. To critics, it illustrated the dangers of conflating fame with expertise. And hovering over it all was Ricky Gervais, not yelling, not interrupting, just reposting a reminder that applause does not equal wisdom. The fight isn't going away. As long as award shows remain global megaphones, celebrities will speak. And as long as they do, voices like Gervais's will be there to challenge them. Whether anyone is listening, on either side, remains the real question.